Hi and welcome to my latest video blog. Firstly, I did get some feedback that last week I looked a bit under the weather. I just like to point out that that was my 5:30 a.m. face, and this week I'm actually doing my video blog in the evening before I post it on Friday morning. Hopefully that way I don't look quite so tired, sleepy, not quite with it that I did last week. Anyway, on to my last week. So I spent the last day and a little bit today with the group that I am a part of, with the coach who's working with the group and myself. It's been really interesting because yesterday they actually ran a full day session. We were there, mainly observing and occasionally contributing. My arms, anyway. My favourite part was we'd actually left the room and we came back in, and there was my technical product owner drawing up on the whiteboard the image I'd drawn for her a couple of days earlier about slicing your user stories like slices of cake instead of giving people the cake, the cream, the cake, etc. It was so wonderful to see something I'd shown to her, to have her pass in add-on to the rest of the group, not her team, but the rest of the product owners and chapter leads. So I obviously made an impact, which of course is what you want to do as a coach, right? You want to make a positive impact. So that gave me pleasure. It was also really interesting to see them be fully engaged for a full day of mostly talking about things that things that their group owner wanted to achieve, things that they wanted to achieve, and ways they wanted to develop the staff, all sorts of different things and different topics. It was a quite unstructured day. To be honest, if the coaches had organised it, it probably would have been more structured, but they got heaps out of it. And at the end of it, the feedback from both the participants and the group owner was really positive, that they got what they wanted and had a really valuable day. So that was a bit of a lesson that, yeah, we would have done it differently, but that doesn't mean that the way it was done wasn't fantastic for what they needed. Today we did a 2-hour session, which was set up and mainly facilitated by Tim, one of the other coaches who's working at the group level, as opposed to me working at the team level. And that was fabulous as well. I think it was quite different to the way they've run sessions before. Tim called it a future perspective. It's about reflecting on the pain points and the positives of the time since they had their launch last September, October, and then picking their key pain points, coming up with some solutions, voting on those, ranking them according to impact and effort, and picking out a couple that they wanted to commit to with actual few steps and also an action owner. I felt that was really valuable. It was a really fun session. I enjoyed being part of it. I hope everybody else did too. I actually had to run off at the end, so I think Tim's going to try and get some feedback tomorrow. But I thought everyone participated well and that we got some outcomes which were interesting. I think possibly different to what they would have thought if you just gone in and said, what are your pain points? So I think the combination of the two, the day event and that couple of hours event, and the contrast of the way they were run was really interesting for me to see that both are effective, both add different types of outcomes, but both were valuable outcomes. So that was really interesting. And last but not least, one of the things that came up in the full day was they'd like their coaches to be more authoritative, which was interesting because it's not my coaching style, to be honest. But what I thought was, I don't have to be saying you need to do this. What I can be saying is, this is an area you called out as a pain point, and work with the team on how to resolve those pain points and make sure they're actually doing that. Since they are pain points the team called out, they're obviously things that matter to them. So I can be perhaps more pushy than I have been about them actually resolving those pain points, and with my support, of course. But that's the thing, how I'll get that balance between them and what they're saying they want, which is me to come in and say, do this, do that, which I don't think is a lasting way of making change. It'll work while I'm there, but as soon as I leave, they'll go, well, she's not here to tell us what to do anymore, we'll go back to the old way. So I'd much rather work with them on ways to do things for their team. So we'll see how that goes. I've got a couple of meetings with the team tomorrow, so we'll start having a look at that. And then they've actually got some sessions set up to do their A match. You may recall me talking about that last year, the Agile Maturity Assessment tool. And that it comes around every quarter. So the team's going to do that, and I'm going to help them run a retro on that in a couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to that, to seeing how they rate themselves on an Agile scale and what they think they need to work on. And I've realised I've gone for nearly 6 minutes today, so obviously I talk more in the evening than I do in the morning. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye.